Hey everyone, welcome back to another weekly update of my options portfolio. Over the next couple of weeks, towards the end of the July, I have almost 130,000 worth of cash secured puts that could potentially be assigned. So for a lot of people, assigning too many cash secured puts can be sound bad, but actually, I'm not worried about it. Today, I want to explain why I'm comfortable with those positions and how I'm preparing my portfolio for those possible assignments and why those expiration dates and strike prices are important. And lastly, what are the newly open and closed trades of the week? So let's jump in. By the way, this is my own app. You are seeing right now my monthly P&L calendar. I have here my trade journal, dashboard, watch list, and earning calendar watch list. So it's my own tool I built myself. So links in the description. Feel free to try. Let me know what do you think about the tool. Is there any feature you want to see would be beneficial for options trader? Let me know in the comments. So here I will click to my week 2 and it will filter them in my trade journal page. So as you can see here, I closed 3 trades this week and 2 of them was leaves contracts. I opened back in June. It was like a 1 month trade approximately, and one was the Google and the other one is Palantir. In the beginning, they went down quite a bit. It was red, but at the end, I was able to close the Google around 20% profit and around 10% profit for Palantir. So about Palantir, let me show the graph quickly why I close on that day. Because normally in leaps contracts, I wait for 20%. Like with Google, it was very straightforward. I did that. I saw the 20% profit and I exit. But with Palantir, so I opened it around June here and it went quite a bit down. So when I see this nice, powerful climbing and it reached out to these levels of stochastic around 80 and above RSI 50 levels. And those levels for me is like also the upper Bollinger Band. Those levels is kind of for me is like over both levels. So I want to exit and if potentially coming back down again 100 levels, I can open another leaves, but while the indicators are this much stretched, so I want to exit from that leaves contracts and 10% was a really nice profit around $1,000 in less than a month. So let's go back to the trade journal again. So that was my leaves contract, closed one, and I also closed a poor man's covered call. In Rocket Lab, I have also leaves contracts, and since the stock is going down while waiting my long call to get profitable, so meanwhile I'm selling some short calls. So since I have 5 contracts, I sold 5 short call and I saw around like 50% of my premium is already there in a few days. I think it was like 2 days. And I saw in 2 days it brings me already half of my premium, which was $500. So I took my profit. I will be waiting for stock price to go up to sell again some covered calls if it's not going all the way to my break even on my leaps contract. And lastly, I opened 2 credit spreads. They're very small contracts, just 2 contracts per the spread. So GLW and Cameco. Let me show one of the graphics quickly. So here, I opened the trade on 8th of June here. As you can see here, stock price went below the Bollinger Band and the stochastic and RSI was also on those levels which I usually open credit spreads like below 20 for stochastic and 30 for RSI. All was like matching with my rules of credit spreads like Bollinger Band and stochastic. And I opened a credit spread, put credit spread for 45 days in the future Right now, I have plenty of time. There's an earning coming on 31st of July, but my expiration is like mid-August. So I will see, maybe it will help me. Maybe I will wait after the earnings. Maybe there will be a little bit of like pre-earning hype. So my profit zone is around like 50%. I think if it goes to like 90, like 100 levels, 95 levels, maybe I think I can exit with 50% profit. So those two was my credit spreads, but I want to talk about more my wheel strategies, my casket put, which is expiring in July. For that, I will go to campaigns tab in my trade journal here. As you can see here, if I filter my wheel strategies, so you can see my all open wheel campaigns. As you can see, I'm in different phases in each one. So most of them I'm selling cash good puts, and some of them I'm selling covered calls. I have already assigned 100 shares in Celestica and 200 shares in Amazon. And I have, for example, let me show the GLW here. So here I have 165 casket put right now. It's expiring on 31st of July. And on this campaign, I already closed 5 casket puts and I was able to profit around $1,400 already. And this was from starting June 5th. So by adding these premiums in a weekly basis, in a monthly basis, I'm lowering my cost basis in terms of an assignment. Let's say assigned to 165. So essentially my goal will be selling, of course, like 170, 185 level of covered calls. But worst case scenario, stock keeps going down. I will be able to still selling like 150 calls in order to sell my shares, and I would be still profitable due to the already collected premiums in the last month. So that is the really nice part of the wheel strategy, like you are keep lowering your cost basis. So let me show other cash good puts expiring in July. So I have, like I mentioned, GLW, and I have Western Digital, 490. I have a cash secured put, and in Iran, I have like 6 different cash secured puts. I think from 40 to all the way to 50 levels here. And what else? I have DRAM. And I have also Coherent expiring end of July, I think 31st, oh, 24 actually. And my strike price is 335. Combining all these open casket puts, it's all $130,000 if everything is signed in the same time in July. So why I'm comfortable with that? Because this was the plan from the beginning. I intentionally select these strike prices where I would be happy becoming a long-term shareholder on those stocks. And these are not also random companies, like every one of them plays an important role in AI infrastructure businesses. Like GLW supplies optical connectivity for data centers, and Celestica builds like networking hardwares, switches for all cloud providers, and Coherent develops photonics and optical technologies used by all the data centers. And Western Digital, of course, storage solutions to support all AI workloads, and IRAN expanding into AI data centers and high performance computing. These are all business that I genuinely want to own if the market gives me the opportunity. All of these companies are having long-term deals with Microsoft, with Nvidia, with Amazon's on chip business, like 2030, 2035 deals. Like their cash flows are guaranteed. And I believe the AI infrastructure business will have still room to grow, and I'm excited to be part of it. I know I'm a little overextended, but I just want to mention also this is not my all contract, so I have also leaves contracts in like names like McDonald's, like Google, Netflix, Amazon, more stable names. I hope I have also a main portfolio where I have some ETFs. So this is a portion of my portfolio, so which I'm comfortable with the risk, and I think it is a calculated risk. And as I mentioned, I'm getting these premiums already here, thousands of dollars, which makes me my cost basis lower each and every week. So in terms of a downside in the sector, I will be able to sell below cost basis covered calls to sell those shares since I have this already profits in those names. So how I'm preparing for almost 130,000 possible assignments. First, I stopped opening additional wheel positions and new leaps for this week and for the rest of the July because the 30% is my wheel allocation goal in my portfolio. So I'm already there. I respect my allocation rules basically. And instead of like chasing more premiums, more opportunities, like there are a lot of names went down from the indicators, but I just don't chase them. I'm keeping more cash available in case of these assignments are happening or also for other earning season. Second thing I did was intentionally structure my covered calls around pre-assignment days and pre-earning season. For example, my wheel in Amazon and Celestica, I sold here covered calls around 24 July, which is that dates are before my assignment dates and before the earnings of my stocks here. So that wasn't random. So Amazon and Celestica also both reporting earnings on 28th and 31st, I think. So originally I want my covered calls to expire before those earnings for Celestica and Amazon. That gives me more flexibility going into earnings, first of all. So if I don't get assigned and I will be holding on the earnings in potential rally, I can sell more covered calls even more above my cost basis. But if something happened, a hype maybe before earnings, and let's say I get assigned in Celestica at 410, my initial cost basis is 340. So I'm very happy to assigning on that level. So I will be holding cash going into earning season in the August, in the end of July. So both outcomes for these cover calls is good for me. And also my cash puts are assigning before earnings, so I want to also pay attention to those. Like I want to choose my expirations like before earnings dates. So if my casket puts get assigned before those dates, that's also perfectly fine. I will own the shares at the price I'm comfortable, which can immediately begin selling covered calls after earnings with a potential benefit from the stock appreciation if stock goes up after the earnings and high premium. And if the stocks pull back before earnings, still like covered calls can still generate income. Because I will be able to sell, let's say, on my assignment prices, which will be around like 40, 30 levels. And in all of these stocks, like 30, 40 levels, premiums are very high. So that is not a bad outcome for me. In addition to Amazon and Celestica covered calls, I have also Rocket Lab and Uber covered calls, and those are also generating me right now some additional premiums. Like I mentioned, I also have Netflix, like McDonald's, Amazon, to balance my options portfolio with some safer names. So I'm not relying on just one strategy, like on the wheel. I'm using like different names and different directions and different expirations. So that is my situation with my portfolio, with my options trading updates for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for the following the journey. And if you enjoyed these weekly updates, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I will see you again next week.